Tonight on News 5 Live, big shakeups in the political scene. On nominations day, 5 potential UDP candidates under Shine Barrow's leadership dropped out of the race. Barrow finally breaks his silence on this major disappointment. In other news, Frick de Meer has been released from police custody after being questioned about Boris Mansfeld's murder. We also have an exclusive interview with the family of one of the 3 Moroccan tourists found dead in Belize. And this week on Culture Tuesday, we're taking you back on a nostalgic journey with Belize's very first local television program. All these stories and more are coming up at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
Citizen is co-creating the new Belize.
And if we make enough, then we can share the funds. Tell me what you wanna fight for. But even mind to get hype for. Or even flash up on the light for.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Isani Cayetano, Marion Ali, Paul Lopez, Brittany Gordon. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Belize, the countdown to Decision 2025 is on, and the voices that matter are speaking up. What are the biggest issues? Who are the key players? And what does it all mean for you? Join April Martinez, Demi Williams, and Harold Young as they break down the issues, the candidates, and the real impact of this election. Tune in to Power and the People, where your voice matters. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. only on Channel 5.
In 2023, we continue to deliver on the promises of Plan Belize, proving that hard work and dedication are the pillars of a brighter, safer future for all Belizeans. With the launch of the Prison Information Management System, we've revolutionized how justice is delivered. For the first time, Belize's prison system has transitioned from outdated paper records to real-time digital monitoring, ensuring no one is lost in the system. At the National Forensic Science Service, new state-of-the-art facilities for histopathology and toxicology are transforming forensic investigations. Thanks to our collaboration with the European Union's I-Crime project, Belize now has cutting-edge tools to combat transnational crime and support justice at home. From advanced DNA analysis to combating gender violence, these enhancements expand Belize's capacity to service justice with precision and integrity. Citizen security remains a cornerstone of our mission. Through the amendment of the Firearms Act and new initiatives, we've strengthened laws and improved collaboration across agencies to protect Belizeans everywhere. From modernizing justice systems to safeguarding our communities, Plan Belize continues to move forward. We're building a nation that inspires pride, fosters trust, and leaves no one behind. A safer Belize begins with us. Let's keep building together.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, February 25th. I am Sabrina Daly. On Monday, News 5 provided extensive nationwide coverage of Nomination Day. We also reported on the unprecedented absence of 4 United Democratic Party UDP candidates, which led to an automatic victory for 2 People's United Party PUP candidates. Tonight, we revisit Nomination Day to take a closer look at those 4 UDP candidates, from their introduction to the nation on Saturday to their no-show on Monday. We also hear from their party leader, Moses Shine Barrow. News 5's Paul Lopez has the story.
The United Democratic Party faced a major setback on Nomination Day when 4 of its candidates, led by Moses Shine Barrow, failed to show up at their respective nomination stations. Additionally, a 5th candidate, Raymond Rivers, couldn't gather enough supporters to get nominated. This was a stark contrast to Saturday, when Barrow unveiled his slate of 30 candidates, all sitting shoulder to shoulder, presenting a united front.
Next to Tony Herrera is the man representing our party in the Fort George constituency, Mr. Melvin Hewlett, and the regional leader, the Eastern Regional Leader. Sitting next to Mr. Hewlett is the man who hails from the culture capital of Belize, the man representing Dangriga, Sarawi, and Hope Creek, Mr. Norman Usher. In Belize City, Pickstock constituency, Dean Samuels. Collett constituency will be represented by none other than Raymond Rivers, Collett.
Due to the no-shows of Melvin Hewlett and Dean Samuels, the People's United Party candidates for Fort George, Henry Charles Usher, and Pickstock, Anthony Mahler, were automatically declared winners in their constituencies. In Dangriga, Norman Usher's absence left the People's United Party incumbent Dr. Louis Zabané to face off against independent candidate Cyril Garcia on election day. Dennis Williams also didn't show up in Toledo East, meaning the PUP incumbent Osman Martinez will now compete against People's National Party candidate Will Mejia. Today we sat down with Moses Shine Barrow to discuss the absence of these candidates on nomination day.
I can only speak of two. Mr. Rivers had an issue with one of his nominators. There was some urgent issue that came up in the last minute, and Mr. Samuels presented a medical slip saying that he had a quasi-stroke.
What about Mr. Hewlett and Mr. Dishaw Williams down south? Were there any indications from them or any signs that they would have not shown up?
The allegations are that they were bought out by the People's United Party. Those are the allegations. It is quite astonishing and despicable, in my view, that any person who has offered themselves to be a candidate for any political organization, who has campaigned to people and promised people that they would advocate for them, would, in the very last hours before nominations, defect and abandon that pledge and promise to the people. Because, make no mistake, candidates don't serve, or in my humble opinion, should not serve a political organization before they serve the people. It should be that the service of the people align with the mission of the political organization, and so it goes hand in hand. But first and foremost, I believe that your obligation is to the people that you wanted to serve.
Barrow says the UDP is now throwing its support behind Will Mejia in Toledo East and Cyril Garcia in Dangriga.
Have people such as Will Mejia, who, by the way, I spoke to Will yesterday, and we are supporting his candidacy in Toledo East. We ask all voters of Toledo East to vote for Brother Will Mejia. And I spoke also to Mr. Cyril Garcia in Dangriga. We are asking all voters of the Dangriga constituency to vote for Mr. Cyril Garcia. And these are independent candidates who have very, very limited resources, but they have bountiful will to serve the people in their constituencies. So I don't buy any argument other than a medical emergency, which, in all fairness, Mr. Dean Samuels is the only one that presented a medical form, and Mr. Rivers, who is a novice to the political arena, and maybe next time he would know that you would have multiple alternatives with your 6 nominators. But for the other 3, I can't speak other than the allegations that I've heard and what the actions in the last hours indicate.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The color debate is heating up. In the lead up to the general elections, the Barrow and Tracy UDP factions are clashing over which color to use. Barrow has penned a letter to the Elections and Boundaries Commission, firmly stating that there's only one UDP. As the head of the party's central executive, he insists that his candidates should be assigned red on the ballot for Election Day. Barrow warns that any other decision could lead to a civil suit.
One was sent yesterday and then one was sent this morning.
Correct.
And so we're awaiting the official decision of the Election and Boundaries Commission, and then we'll proceed with civil action if the decision is not fit. The Elections and Boundaries has no right to recognize anybody who claims to be a UDP when we have sent them an official list of who the UDP candidates are, and all that will do is cause confusion in the constituencies where we have our competing claims. There is only one legitimate right, and that totally undermines our democracy. We want fair and free elections. That is not fair, that is not free. That is confusion and chaos and deliberate. We must understand it's not someone like Josephine Tamai, who I believe is an objective public servant. She's taking direction from political stooges in the Elections and Boundaries Commission who make up the majority.
Coming up, why was millionaire Boris Mansfeld murdered? And families mourn 3 Revere women found dead in Belize resort.
Really? You not switch yet? No what? I tell you. I don't.
You used to call me on my cell phone, late night just to stay in touch. Call me on my cell phone, cause our connection used to mean so much. And I know when that thought line bling, February's got that love to bring. Yeah, I know when that thought line bling, Smart is giving you everything. These days all I do is wonder if you're still connected with somebody else. Wonder why you're missing out on what's best for yourself. You could have had more, but you're still stuck with them. You don't need no one else, you don't need nobody else. So it's time to switch up and run, cause Smart's the best in the land. They got the top speed and the best service for your phone. You should just switch to them, it's Smarter, no one else. You used to call me on my cell phone.
Police are still trying to determine a motive for the murder of American businessman Boris Mansfeld, who was shot on the Concoplum Villas in Placencia on Friday. Mansfeld, a major real estate developer in Belize for the past 2 decades, primarily operated in Placencia. He was shot once in the back of the neck and found lying on the ground with his wallet and still holstered firearm. While the motive remains unclear, Mansfeld was involved in several fraud cases before the court, both as the accused and the accuser. Here's News 5's Brittany Gordon with more details.
The murder of real estate mogul Boris Mansfeld remains a mystery. On February 20th, Mansfeld returned to his beachside villa on the Placencia Peninsula, and by the next night, he was found dead on the front steps. Police believe this was a targeted attack, as Mansfeld was involved in several high-profile legal battles. In 2024, Mansfeld sent out emails to media houses across the country, detailing allegations of fraud schemes run by multiple colleagues in the industry, 2 of whom had been murdered. Several of these emails mention businessman Frick Demare, a former associate who severed ties with Mansfeld in 2023. Mansfeld accused Demare of using Boris Mansfeld's website to redirect customers to a separate page, allegedly stealing business. Within 48 hours of Mansfeld's death, Demare was picked up by police for questioning. Attorney Andrew Bennett provides some insight into the client's ongoing legal dispute.
Mr. Demare tendered his notice of resignation of partnership to Mr. Boris Mansfeld. Unfortunately, occurring at the same time was the discovery of non-payment of stamp duties on real estate transactions. This involved the firm of JC Consulting, and as a result of that, there was a further dispute whereby Mr. Mansfeld alleged misappropriation of funds by Mr. Frick Demare. That led to several lawsuits being filed in the court. We have provided a defense on behalf of Mr. Demare. We were going through several of them, but unfortunately they have not really moved from pleadings. So in the claim of 760 of 2023, which dealt with the allegation of funds being misappropriated by Frick, an application was made to appoint an expert auditor, Cedric Flowers, but as of today, that did not move anywhere.
Demare wasn't the only colleague Mansfeld accused of fraud. In another email, he detailed a land fraud plot he claimed involved Demare, the late Ricardo Borja, and Darren Taylor. Mansfeld alleged that the trio commissioned fake passports and bribed government officials to fast-track their scheme. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams stated that these allegations have yet to be proven or disproven.
For us to be able to investigate, the investigation needs to be triggered by somebody. If it were that there were passports that were fraudulently issued, then immigration would have come to the police and lodge a complaint, and then we would investigate. If it were that situations where, as I read what was posted by Mr. Mansfield of, I think it was tax, stamp duty fraud, again, we would need to get a complaint from the Ministry of Natural Resources, stamp duty division or section on that matter, so that we would be able to investigate. So our investigators are going to touch base certainly with Ministry of Natural Resources on that issue and see if we will be able to get something from them to prove or dispel the allegations as outlined by Mr. Mansfield.
While Mansfeld told the media and his clients that he was about to blow the lid off a multi-million-dollar land fraud scheme, he was also facing several claims of unlawful business practices in court. Police Commissioner Chester Williams emphasized that investigators are not overlooking the complexity of this case and are exploring every possible motive.
We're also looking at the business transactions that Mr. Mansfield may have with other individuals, with a view to see if we will be able to close in on a possible motive and perhaps suspect. So at this time, we don't have much where that is concerned.
On Monday, Bennett also shed light on the legal battle of his client, Frick Demer, had along with Mansfeld against the late Ricardo Borja. With Mansfeld's death, it's uncertain how the legal proceedings will move forward, as they were scheduled to return to court today. Demer has since been released from police custody, but his phone, computer, and firearm have yet to be returned to him.
We, coincidentally, we go to court tomorrow. That would have been another claim which involved the, in terms of the stamp duties that Mr. Mansfeld was alleging was misappropriated by JC Consulting, Richard Borja, and he had joined Frick Demer in those proceedings. That would have been the hearing of an application for the appointment of somebody to represent the estate of Ricardo Borja. So at this point, everything now is in suspense. We will need directions from the court in terms of how it will move forward.
More details to come as the story develops. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The families of 3 female tourists found dead at a San Pedro resort on Saturday are grieving their tragic loss. 23-year-old Kotar Nakad, 24-year-old Amen Mala, and 26-year-old Wefe Larur were found dead in their suite at the Royal Cajal Beach Resort. Their families are in contact with the U.S. Embassy, which is assisting with the investigation. Police Commissioner Chester Williams stated that a pathologist estimated they had been dead for up to 20 hours before being found. The women of Moroccan descent with U.S. citizenship were discovered by hotel staff after failing to respond to housekeeping. While no signs of injury were reported, authorities suspect a possible drug overdose due to vomit and froth found around their mouths. However, Mala's family told our colleagues at WCVP-B Boston that they don't believe that they overdosed.
My wife is talking to my daughter, no call, nothing. After 2:30 p.m., my wife called me. 2:30 is my daughter dead. Oh, what happened? I don't know, is dead for room, the hotel. That's it. After the court, you go to police. I don't know this. I don't know what happened. You have my daughter is talking. No, I don't know. He came back to my house. He talked to father. This Wafa Lahsan is same. He dead. He grow. My body, 3. You grow me 2 years, 3 years. 26 friend. Three people. Same room. Happy birthday, vacation, this is no problem. The good friend, the best.
So she had spoken to me about wanting to take a vacation, and Wafa and Kautar, may they rest in peace, were also a very good friend of hers, and she was looking for a while. Last year she wanted to go on vacation with her other group of friends, but she wasn't able to because she got sick. So this was kind of her redemption because she just started to feel better. She had a stomach virus for a long time and it made her sick a lot. So she had just started to feel better, and I guess this was like her redemption trip. My reaction at first was that it's not true, that she gets sick sometimes and she goes MIA for days on end. And it happens all the time where she'll be in the hospital and she wouldn't speak to me for like 2 or 3 days, and then she would just let me know like, I'm okay, I'm in the hospital, and then I just know to leave her alone. So when they first told me, I thought it was just that because they hadn't told me about Wafa and Kautar yet. And then when they said it was all 3 and that they said that it might be an overdose, I know that that's not true, and I know that that's a lie because Iman was clean, she wasn't doing anything. Kautar and Wafa would never, and the 3 of them wouldn't die at once if that was the case. And Iman is she's a very smart girl. She knows not to do that. She knows not to put herself and her friends who she loves so much in that situation. There have been times where Iman, when I graduated, she didn't want me to go to a party. She didn't want to go with me because there would be drinking there. That was the kind of person she was. So when they said that it was OD, I will never believe that that's true. I'm going to remember her as my sister, as my best friend. I'll never forget her. And Iman means faith in Arabic. And I know that Iman is in heaven. And I know that she's much happier. She loved so deeply and she felt everything so deeply. So this life wasn't always that easy for her. And I know that God took her because he loves her. And she loved God so much. She loved her faith so much. And I know that she's home now.
The Belize Advisory Council has received a notice of appeal from the attorney representing DeAndre Reed. The former police constable dismissed for using excessive force when he fatally shot the Governor General's pet dog. Reed was charged with discharging a firearm without authorization after the incident in May 2024. Reed, through his attorney, is exercising his right under Section 25 of the Police Act, challenging Commissioner of Police Chester Williams' decision to dismiss him from the Belize Police Department. The notice was sent to the council in September last year. Last week, the Attorney General's ministry wrote to the council pointing out a procedural irregularity and a breach of Reed's right to due process. They found that Reed should have been given 5 days to decide whether to plead guilty or not after being served with a disciplinary form. On Monday, Williams responded to the appeal against him.
I have read the opinion and I disagree with certain aspect of it. And I think that to some extent they learned counsel from the AG ministry was not privy to all information when he wrote that opinion. Because one, when we have breaches of our disciplinary code, we don't need to issue a notice of complaint. Like, for example, if a police officer is found sleeping on duty, is absent from duty, intoxicated whilst on duty, discharging firearm without the permission of the Commissioner of Police, those are our internal infractions. So once a police officer commits one of those infractions, there is no need for a notice of complaint. Notice of complaint would apply in situations where a member of the public comes to the police professional standard branch and make a complaint against a police officer. On the basis of that, then, professional standard branch is going to write the police officer, notify him of the complaint, and ask him to respond within so much days why disciplinary action should not be taken against him or her. Those are the instances where we would normally issue notice of complaint. It's just like when we deal with the criminal aspect of the law. If the police find a person with unlicensed firearm, with drugs, committing a traffic infraction, disorderly behavior, the police don't need an arrest warrant to arrest you. But if John Public comes to the police and make a complaint against you that you wound them or what you commit a robbery or burglary, the police have to investigate, then issue a warrant for your arrest before they could arrest you. So it's the same principle that applies.
Williams stood firm on his decision, emphasizing the seriousness of the offense. He believed that Reed was properly informed of his arrest and that the principles of natural justice were followed. Williams explained that he used his discretion to dismiss Reed due to the severity of the incident. Williams says that the same principle was applied in the case involving Elmer Nah.
He would have been notified of the complaint when it happened through the diary where he was instructed to give a duty report, which he provided a duty report. And again, there is straight law that in circumstances where a person is aware of the reason for the arrest, there is no need for the police to tell them. That is, there have been case laws on that. Now, following the tribunal hearing, again, with a view to ensure that the principle of natural justice was adhered to. I did similar to what I did in the Na et al. Cases, where the legal office wrote the then constable, explained to him the process in terms of the nature of the offense that he was convicted for, and requested from him reasons why, in light of the gravity of the offense he has been convicted for, he should not be dismissed. And I think he was given 7 days to respond to that notice. He responded to that notice. That response came to me. I read his response. I took it into consideration, and having read his response and looking at the nature of the offense, I exercised my discretion in dismissing him on the basis that the response given was not satisfactory, right? And so for the council to have said that natural justice was not followed, that's not true. And importantly, he also said that the nature of the offense was indeed a serious one, right? Which in fact he agreed with me then, that the offense is a serious one, and as such. But his issue was basically that the natural justice principle was not adhered to, which in fact we did adhere to the principle of natural justice. We did that in our case, and you all saw how the court ruled with that. And it was not his place to say that.
After the break, how TV helped to shape Belizean culture. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
The engine of economic growth and development. Trade rebounded to pre-pandemic levels by 2022, driven by increased market penetration of sugar, corn, lobster, and conch. The ministry worked to operationalize the trade agreement with Taiwan, including to be ready for the resumption of the export of shrimp, ensure that Belize benefited from expanded market access to Mexico, including for cattle, completed negotiations of a trade agreement with El Salvador, leveraged a claim through the Caribbean Court of Justice, resulting in significant increase in Belize's brown sugar sales within CARICOM, sought to re-engage Guatemala towards the expansion of the partial scope agreement, and undertook projects to streamline trade procedures and improve customs efficiency. The ministry continues to work to ensure that Belize is well positioned to take advantage of trade opportunities and to maximize the rules of trade.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Digi is bringing the power of connectivity to every corner of Belize with our Digi on-the-go mobile store.
Ma, Digi dia.
Digi dia. Don't say. Sign up for the fastest, most reliable home fiber service, purchase the latest device, or explore our wide range of services. This one-of-a-kind mobile store has it all. Our dedicated team brings the same high-quality in-store experience to you, ensuring you stay connected with friends, family, and the world.
You guys bringing the mobile here, it's really helpful, saving a lot of money for people going from the town, especially like in Punta Gorda, which is 25 miles away from here, which will cost a couple dollars for them to reach there. So having these caravan here, it's a lot easier, it's a lot cheaper, and you know, people are taking advantage. As you can see, we have a lot of people coming out today to purchase some of these devices, top-ups and even postpaid that they're eager to have, no?
Digi is connecting Belize one community at a time. Look out for the Digi on-the-go mobile store with exclusive deals and offers in a community near you. Follow us on our Digi Facebook page to see where we will be next.
Digi, our national telecom.
It's time to wake up, move, and feel amazing. Get your heart pumping and your energy flowing with Morning Boost. A fun and dynamic workout show to kickstart your day. Whether you're a beginner or a fitness pro, we've got the moves to keep you motivated. So grab your mat, set your alarm, and let's get moving. Morning Boost, weekdays at 6 a.m., only on Channel 5.
This is my first time here.
Hopefully it's my last. My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors. You transfer papers, your key to the Mvule Kingdom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I know.
Here are your clippers. Clippers.
Who's in?
We are prefects. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect, quick. Is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick together. When I'm head prefect, each and every student will have a voice.
You need to show that news quick, Mvule.
I hate this school!
Freedom to grow.
After a late evening meeting, the Elections and Boundaries Commission decided that all 41 United Democratic Party candidates under the leadership of Shine Barrow and Tracy Panton will be assigned the color red. This decision is based on the fact that the High Court won't rule on the UDP leadership dispute until after March 31st, well after the general election. The debate over the color red arose because both Barrow and Tager Panton claim leadership of the embattled party. On March 12th, voters will head to the polls where the ballots will be featured a red block with the names of the candidates without any distinctions for the UDP. Earlier today, we had an in-depth conversation with Philip Willoughby, the UDP candidate for Port Loyola under Tracy Panton's leadership, about his vision for the constituency. He is one of 3 UDP candidates vying for that seat against incumbent area representative Gilroy Usher Sr. We'll share more about that in tomorrow's newscast, but tonight we have his thoughts on the Shine Barrow UDP candidates who didn't show up on nomination day. Here's what he had to say.
That's a reflection of
Jamal. Clearly, it's a reflection of him, on him. You understand me? That's a reflection of him and on him. Clearly and squarely that drops in his lap. No. I am disappointed, yes, because I know the gentleman. And I know nobody would want to swim this far to turn back or drop out. So something is afoot that went on, that had these four gentlemen step out and step back. You understand? It just doesn't happen like that. What is there to come in the upcoming days leading up to the election? Of course, if it is a team sport, you would help your colleagues. Resources will come in all shapes and forms. But for the people of Port Loyola, if it does come, whoever come, anybody come, when they come, at the end of the day, they will leave. And when they leave, it's just you and me, you and I, in the very same situation.
Tonight, we will continue our Meet the Candidates series. In this segment, we're heading west to Belmopan and Cayo South. Voters in these areas will have to choose between the incumbent PUP candidate and two UDP candidates. It's shaping up to be an unprecedented election season for these divisions. News 5's Paul Lopez has the details.
The race is really heating up with just 2 weeks to go before the March 12th general elections. Constituencies in the Cayo district nominated their candidates on Monday and are all set to cast their votes. In Belmopan, it's a three-way showdown between two United Democratic Party candidates and one People's United Party candidate. PUP incumbent Oscar Mira is hoping to secure a second term in office.
No, it's a humbling experience. It is an honor that very few have gotten the opportunity. I thank the Lord, I thank God, first of all, for giving me that opportunity. I also thank the people of Belmopan for putting their trust in me.
Mira says his team has made significant investments in the capital city over the last 4 years. He says equitable educational and healthcare access were also priorities.
The infrastructure work in Belmopan has to continue. We are growing too fast, and we have to keep up with the demands of the infrastructure, with the demands of water and light and all the utilities that we have to have in Belmopan. Another high school for Belmopan, a vocational high school for Belmopan, as well as the hospital for Belmopan. It is now time that we in Belmopan have a covered structure for our sports.
But to secure a second term, Mira will have to overcome two UDP candidates on March 12th, a challenge no PUP candidate has faced before in Belmopan. Luckily for Mira, his UDP opponents, John Saldivar and Ralston Fraser, are at odds with each other. Fraser has claimed that the capital city has become divided under the PUP's leadership.
In one word, you can call it inequity. Fairness is not being applied throughout Belmopan, and I'm going to touch on this a bit. I know it's going to be controversial, but there is a growing segregation in Belmopan, and okay, I've said it. Yeah, we all know, and I think we need to make every effort to let that not be. Why? This has not happened by the will of the people in Belmopan. There are certain elements among us in Belmopan who is propagating this because they benefit from it. The whole divide and conquer situation. And we can't afford this anywhere in the world. We can't afford this in Belize. We cannot afford this in Belmopan. We do not want it in Belmopan.
On the other hand, John Saldivar argues that Belmopan has been rapidly deteriorating under Oscar Mira's representation. Saldivar is hoping to regain control of the constituency after failing at the polls in 2020.
Land issues have become a serious issue. People's land have been taken away from them. pantry program has been ripped up away from the poor and the elderly of this city, and people are going to rebel against that when election day comes. I don't think that the people of Belmopan will be confused any at all. I think they know exactly what is happening. They know who is the traditional UDP leader here in Belmopan. They understand the leadership rift, which has nothing at all to do with who is on the ballot here in Belmopan. People understand that very clearly, that John Saliva is the man for Belmopan.
The Cayo South constituency, which borders Belmopan to the west, is made up of 13 villages. In the upcoming March 12th general election, 2 UDP candidates are competing for the seat. However, they'll have to unseat the incumbent era representative, Julius Espat, who is aiming for a 4th term in office.
We built a primary school in St. Matthews, which was extremely important. We are building a primary school right now in Roaring Creek, which is much needed. We have paved about half of the villages, the main arteries. We have opened farmers' roads. We have dealt with most, if not all, the education assistance requests. NHI is now in Cayo South. It will start in about a month's time, so that will alleviate the health problems. And we continue. There's a lot of employment. There's a lot of activity going on. We're working on every facet of life. But the idea is to raise the quality of life of the rural residents so that they be at par with the urban residents. And I think we've come a long way.
The UDP candidates in Cayo South are Dr. June Young and Jose Samayoa. We caught up with Dr. Young to hear what she's been hearing from constituents on the ground.
Some of the challenges and the needs of people are the same. We have some communities where people are clamoring for light, for water, for land, to have access to their homes. In some area way to the back of the villages, they do not have access where vehicle can take them to their homes, so they need to walk for some miles to get to their homes. So those are the issues. Also, we know the issue of crime. The other day we had Mr. Samayoa, who was shot in Arizona. So campaigning in that community, the villagers were telling me, Dr. Young, we need a substation here in our village. We need a little polyclinic, and if possible, a multi-grade school, so that our students, our children do not have to walk that far to go to schools.
In our conversation with Jose Samayoa, he conceded that Julius Espat is a strong opponent, while asserting that Espat has been unable to fulfill his promises to the people.
What inspired me is that we is being hurted in Cayo South. Like we had this era rep up there. He's very strong because he's within the government, right? He promised a lot to the people of Cayo South. He's a liar. We know already. The reason why I'm here is to serve the people of Cayo South. And I guess I'm ready. I know together, I'm telling my people of Cayo South, together we can make it. And let's make Cayo South great again.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
"70 schools across the country are now connected to high-speed internet, thanks to the Connected project. This fantastic initiative is a joint effort between the Ministry of Education and Digi, ensuring that schools not only get fast internet, but also receive top-notch technical support, maintenance, and continuous monitoring. The big signing ceremony happened at Our Lady of the Way Roman Catholic Primary School in Ladyville. It was a lively event with students, teachers, and key stakeholders all coming together to celebrate this significant leap towards digital integration. News 5's Brittany Gordon has the full story.
The digital divide is closing fast. Since its launch in 2022, the Connect Ed project has been transforming education by boosting wireless connectivity across school campuses. As of this month, 283 schools are now connected, benefiting almost 78,000 students and 4,500 teachers. Minister of Education Francis Fonseca recently announced the rollout of Phase 2, which connects 70 more schools. This initiative is truly revolutionizing learning in Belize.
You had schools where they had some access to the internet, right? They had access. But very often it was in a computer lab or in an office, in the principal's office, right? Or somebody in a main office. And we recognize that was not enough. That was not sufficient. That was not adequate. We want to make sure that our young people, wherever they are on this beautiful campus, that they will have access to the internet. You know, after they go running the teacher's lounge or the office or going just in the computer lab. So that's an important component of this initiative, and that's why the government of Belize has invested millions of dollars in this initiative.
Fonseca estimates that about 75% of schools are now digitally connected, but he assures us that the government's mission won't stop until every single school is online. The launch of Phase 2 was celebrated with a signing ceremony at Our Lady of the Way Primary School in Ladyville. During the event, the Ministry of Education also gifted the school with 22 Chromebooks. Dolores Balderramos Garcia highlighted just how crucial internet access is for the community.
Digital connection for education is so very important. I want to recall, Minister, 3 years ago I had the distinct honor of joining you and your delegation in London for the Education World Forum. After COVID, it was being stressed the importance of digital learning worldwide. And now that we see BTL working with the Ministry of Education to bring this project online today and to increase the internet connection of this very large school. Principal, how much enrollment? 360 students, wow. And I know Ladyville Evangelical has another 300 and odd. And Ladyville SDA, Seventh-day Adventists, they have what, most about 300 as well. So you can see the impact that this community is having on education for our children.
Digi is all in on this mission. They've pledged to support the government's goal of getting every school in Belize connected to the internet. To make this happen, they've signed 2 contracts. One to keep the Connect Ed program running in the 213 schools already benefiting, and another to expand it to 70 more schools. Digi CEO Ivan Telecom shared his excitement to continue this partnership.
With this expansion, we're bringing high-speed internet connectivity to more corners of Belize, north to south, east to west, ensuring that students nowhere are left behind. Doesn't matter where you are, and that they can access equitable quality of education. That is the key. At Digi, or National Telecom, we believe that connectivity means more than just accessing the internet. It is the gateway to knowledge, innovation, and empowerment. Connectivity is about inspiring a generation to dream bigger, to think beyond what we see, to think beyond the boundaries, and to shape Belize. Yes, to put Belize on the map into the educational sphere and create an environment where teaching and learning are not just about books, but it's also about being dynamic, being able to interact globally, and to be able to collaborate worldwide.
Telecom encourages the students at the ceremony to let their curiosity lead them to new heights as they take advantage of the digital world and its opportunities. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
When we return, how TV helped to shape Belizean culture.
Yo me siento contenta porque poder ayudar a que los niños puedan tener una vida saludable es algo que yo como madre puedo sentir bien porque puedo ayudar no solamente a un hijo mío, sino también a los niños de la escuela. mi nombre es Amaris Rivera Sainsbury. Trabajo aquí en la cocina de Eden Primary School. Cada niño que está aquí en esta escuela es como si fuera un hijo nuestro. Cada preparación va hecha con esmero, con amor, con dedicación, poniéndole todos los ingredientes necesarios, los nutrientes que ellos necesitan para que pues tengan una vida saludable.
To me, it's not just a program, it's not just an initiative. It's something that will help them to develop a better lifestyle. As citizens, we want to be healthier. And as the national plan says for health, by 2030, if I'm not mistaken, we are supposed to have a healthy nation. And so this initiative has helped us, in a sense, to build better citizens and citizens who won't get sick that often.
Taking care of your laundry so you can take care of your family.
How can a precision-engineered and sustainably made tire change your world? A tire that gives you strength and safety when you need it most.
What we learn on the track, we innovate
For the road, bringing next-level quality and reliability to every drive. At GT, we believe our tires can deeply improve the driving experience for each and every one of us, whatever our goals. Enjoy driving. GT Tire.
Walking with my dog Luna at night feels safe because the streetlights are bright. Thanks to BL's LED streetlight project, our communities look much brighter. If you have an old fixture in your neighborhood, report it today using the BL 24/7 app. With just a few clicks, you too can help make our communities safer, brighter, and more energy efficient. Bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
The CB100 is efficient, durable, and has enhanced smart power. Being a Honda, of course, it's reliable and fuel efficient. Get around town with no worries because you get up to 100 miles to the gallon. And it's priced at an unbeatable $2,700. Honda CB100, available at Benquit. Equipment, parts, service.
Really? You not switch yet? No what? I tell you, I don't.
You used to call me on my cell phone late night just to stay in touch. call me on my cell phone. Cause our connection used to mean so much. And I know when that thought line bling, February's got that love to bring. Yeah, I know when that thought line bling, Smart is giving you everything. These days all I do is wonder if you're still connected with somebody else. Wonder why you're missing out on what's best for yourself. You could have had more, but you're still stuck with them. You don't need no one else, you don't need nobody else. So it's time to switch up a brand, cause Smart's the best in the land. They got the top speed and the best service for your phone. You should just switch to them, it's Smarter, no one else. You used to call me on my cell phone.
This is my first time here.
Hopefully it's my last.
My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors. Your papers, your key to the Mvule kingdom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I know.
Here are your clippers. Clippers. Who's in?
We are prefects. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect, quick. Is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick together. When I'm head prefect, each and every student will have a voice.
You need to show that news quick, Mvule.
I hate this school!
Freedom to grow.
Television made its debut in Belize in 1981, with Tropical Vision airing on Channel 7. In the early days, there were 3 main channels, 7, 9, and sometimes 11, which rebroadcasted programs from North America. By the mid-80s, the Chicago Cubs came and soap operas such as Days of Our Lives, Santa Barbara, and Another World were all the rage. As locally produced programs started to emerge, along with news and sports broadcasts, television transformed over the next decade into Belizeans' favorite way to get information. 20 years in, TV was already overtaking radio and newspapers as the go-to medium for staying informed and educated. Now, almost 45 years later, television has outshone the other mediums, pushing newspapers to the brink of obsolescence. In this week's edition of Culture Tuesday, News 5's Marian Ali explores how television has helped shape Belizean culture.
Programs in Belize hit the airwaves in 1981, the same year the country gained political independence. Back then, most of the shows were broadcasts from US-based TV stations. As TV gained popularity, Belizeans became hooked on what was then the prime source of entertainment. Who could forget Harry Carey and Cubs baseball? or the steamy plots of soap operas like Another World. From its introduction in 1981, even though we didn't have continuous on-air programming, there were locally produced shows that aired, like the hoisting of the Belizean national flag and the Independence Day Parade. Quite a few shows followed in the early years of Belizean TV. Sylvana Woods wrote, produced, and presented Belize All Over. She believes that television has transformed Belizean culture over the decades.
Fascinating medium, but my goodness, it makes things larger than life. Television, that burger, you want to sink your teeth into it when you see the ad. We crave things because we see it. What is your image of a beautiful person? We constantly are bombarded with these images. Some of the early rappers in Belize, they would rap with a Jamaican accent, all right? Or they would bring in Jamaican wording instead of then say this and then say that, and go, them a say, them a this, which would be more Jamaican. So, it definitely impacts everything, culture, etc.
So let me hear you.
Belizeans quickly became fans of many US TV shows from the 80s. There was Solid Gold and comedies like The Jeffersons, Barney Miller, and Different Strokes. Many housewives tuned into these daily programs back then. Eventually, television began to take a hold in Belize. Denver Fairweather, who grew up watching the lights, cameras, and action of US TV, became a producer while working in television-based jobs. He saw the need for more local TV programs and acted. He is best known for the hit series No Matter What.
I realized that there was nothing much on TV in terms of entertainment. So I made the investment from my salary to get equipment and actually did my first local TV show, you name it, in 1995. We did actually 4 seasons of No Matter What. We did season 1 in 2005, we did season 2 in 2006, I believe we did season 3 in 2008, and we did season 4 in 2010. Because Steve actually, he was still a professor at Howard, and he just took some sabbaticals or periods off where he did come back, and then we worked on the seasons. In 2017, we teamed up with Kim Vasquez, and we did a pilot for episode season of a sitcom, Living My Life.
Fairweather recalls his childhood before TVs were in every bedroom and living room. He feels that television has taken away some of the old-time traditions we used to cherish.
The social aspect of watching movies in theaters and going out on Sunday evening for ice cream and stuff like that changed. People would stay home and watch TV. So that was, let's say, it had a negative social effect in that aspect. The other major negative social effect that TV had was, I remember when Colors came out, back in, say when I was finishing primary school, this would have been about 90, primary school, this was at year 7. I think Colors came out around that time. That's when you started to hear about Crips and Bloods and then the gangbang. And I suppose you had bad man and you had bad areas, but they weren't affiliated or associated and teaming up as such.
Stuart Crone is the former managing director of Channel 5. Having spent several years in TV and news production, Crone agrees that television is an extremely powerful medium that has had its pros and cons. But he believes that Belizean television is greatly influenced by US TV, and some are based on personal tastes.
Things like smoking, fewer Americans smoke now. Guess what? Fewer Belizeans smoke. It might be because cigarettes are so much more expensive now, but it might be that people are more health conscious. People work out and live healthier lifestyles more than they used to. Maybe this was a homegrown thing, but maybe, just maybe, it was influenced by what we see on television. It's it's a very powerful medium, and in many cases it sets the narrative.
But Crone also pointed out some more serious issues that television might have influenced.
Let's take the instance of environmentalism. It's my belief that as the United States culture moved more toward environmentally friendly, a more environmentally friendly position, I think Belize reflected that. While you had your forces in Belize pushing toward conservation, and that certainly it got a boost when you saw that culturally the United States got big into conservation. It made it much easier for that message to sell in Belize. So I look at that as a positive thing. I would add to that the same attitudes towards LGBTQ plus things. Personally, I see that as a positive influence. Others might look at it as a negative influence.
Fairweather would like to see more local culture in Belizean television, but he says it takes a lot of capital investment for these types of programs.
When it comes to entertainment-based programming that may not have as much viewership as news, albeit it would be more entertaining, but also cost more to produce. For example, when I do for a season of No Matter What, we would actually spend about 6 months planning and shooting, and another 2 months editing. So we're doing somewhere between 6 and 8 months of work for 8 to 10 episodes, weekly episodes. Now, if I try to charge, when we look at, I only have about 12 minutes of advertising.
Fairweather revealed that he's working on a new program set to air in December. The series will be called Clutches. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
Up next, Belizean women learning how to cultivate vanilla.
In the heart of Belize, meet two characters, Maya and Diego, whose lives are about to change. First, there's Maya, a bright, young girl with big dreams.
I want to be a doctor and help people.
Then, there's Diego, a boy forced into child labor, struggling to make ends meet. Forced into hazardous work, he dreams of a different life. Let's understand what child labor really means. Child labor is work that steals childhood, potential, and dignity. It harms physical and mental development. For children like Diego, child labor means missing out on an education. While Maya thrives in school, Diego can only watch from afar. Hazardous work endangers children's health and safety. Diego faces risks every day, working in unsafe conditions. Light work, on the other hand, can be safe and supportive. Maya helps her family without compromising her well-being or education. Diego dreams of attending school, completing his education, and eventually getting a decent job that offers dignity and security.
I wish to attend school, complete my education, and then get a job where I can grow and learn without fear.
Belize is committed to eradicating the worst forms of child labor by 2025. With a clear strategy, Belize is working to protect children like Diego. Education is the key to breaking the chains of child labor. Maya and Diego stand together for education. By 2025, Belize envisions a brighter future for its children. A future where children are safe, educated, and free from the burden of child labor. The reality is that child labor exists, but change is possible. With awareness, commitment, and education, we can break the chains of child labor and create a brighter Belize for all. Let's work together to ensure that every child in Belize has the opportunity to dream, learn, and thrive. Thank you for joining us on this journey to eradicate child labor in Belize.
Really? You not switch yet? No what? I tell you. I don't.
You used to call me on my cell phone, late night just to stay in touch. Call me on my cell phone, cause our connection used to mean so much. And I know when that hotline bling, February's got that love to bring. Yeah, I know when that hotline bling, Smart is giving you everything. These days all I do is wonder if you're still connected with somebody else. Wonder why you're missing out on what's best for yourself. You could have had more, but you're still stuck with them. You don't need no one else, you don't need nobody else. So it's time to switch up and run, cause Smart's the best in the land. They got the top speed and the best service for your phone. You should just switch to them, it's Smart or no one else. You used to call me on my cell phone.
At RF&G Insurance, we're committed to safeguarding what matters most to you, offering coverage mile after mile. Our offices and agents located across Belize ensure that you are protected. Secure your property with RF&G Householders Comprehensive Policy. From your home to your belongings, we offer protection so you can enjoy life to the fullest. For more information on your coverage options, contact our team of experts today or visit your local agents. We'll be ready to assist. Don't forget, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
Belize, the countdown to Decision 2025 is on, and the voices that matter are speaking up. What are the biggest issues? Who are the key players? And what does it all mean for you? Join April Martinez, Demi Williams, and Harold Young as they break down the issues, the candidates, and the real impact of this election. Tune in to Power and the People, where your voice matters. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. only on Channel 5.
The Protected Areas Conservation Trust, PACT, and the Association of Protected Areas Management Organizations, APAMO, have teamed up, signing a strategic partnership agreement during a ceremony at the Ministry of Sustainable Development's auditorium in Belmopan. The main goal of this partnership is to boost the management effectiveness and operational capacity of community-based organizations that oversee critical protected areas in Belize.
So we've been looking at how do we as PACT continue to support and strengthen the community-based organizations to be able to do the work, the critical work that they need to do on a daily basis. How do we invest in building the capacities of these organizations consistently? How do we ensure that we're meeting the targets of the protected area system in terms of those biodiversity monitoring, in terms of the data research? How do we move towards financial sustainability? I think those are some of the key areas that we've looked at in terms of supporting these community-based organizations over time. Now, the Association of Protected Areas Management Organization of PAMO have been a critical bridging organization in providing that function to the system. And so the bridging organizations help us then to meet those national objectives. They help us to provide the capacity building. They help us to build the financial management and financial sustainability in these smaller community-based NGOs, because really and truly what you have from these CBOs is heart and soul.
Today's signing reaffirms PAC's dedication to its conservation partners, including APAMO and community-based organizations that act as guardians of our natural heritage, protecting its ecological, social, and environmental significance. APAMO serves as an umbrella organization for NGOs and CBOs managing protected areas in Belize. In 2019, APAMO established its Central Resource Center to bolster the institutional and sustainable development of protected areas, offering support in business development, marketing, financial planning, proposal writing, project management and reporting, event planning, and park management. Since its inception in 2007, PACT has collaborated with this nonprofit organization to ensure the sustainable use and protection of Belize's natural resources.
The day has finally come, and I cannot over-express how pleased we are that we're finally here. It's been a long time in the making. It has meant a lot of engagement among our own members, but also with PAC at every level. I always say that PAC and the Association of Protected Areas Management Organizations, APAMO, is a natural fit as partners. In 2019, we entered the first partnership, but thereafter it was paused. Ever since, we've been trying to work to improve and strengthen that partnership, and it has come. So we want to say thank you, and we look forward to not it being a short to medium term partnership. I think history has shown that more medium to long term partnerships are more effective. APAMO, I would say, is one of the longest standing, and proudly say it, longest standing network organizations in Belize. We were established in 2007 with a clear mandate to advocate, to lobby for members, to have a voice. Our slogan, our logo, is that we are the Belize's protected area, the voice of Belize's protected areas.
In the heart of Belize, a group of determined women is embarking on a fragrant journey to master the art of growing and cultivating vanilla. This initiative not only promises to boost local agriculture, but also empowers these women with new skills and economic opportunities. We explore how this vanilla venture is transforming lives and bringing a sweet aroma of change to the community.
One of the very important features of this project is that it's about vanilla. It's non-traditional. I know you do the usual, right? The same things that we give women to do. Traditional things, traditional activities, traditional training. And the difference here is that cultivating vanilla is not something we normally do. But vanilla is a very valuable spice. It's a valuable product. And if you learn to cultivate this, and you will be provided with all the support that you need to learn how to do it, you know, you can really earn an income and generate revenues for yourself and your family from this project. So I would really like you to embrace the difference, the change, and the opportunity that this project presents.
It's something that definitely has potential. And as the minister said, if you start doing the math, and you start growing, it's not easy, but if you start growing it and you become good at it, I mean, this is something that women in their backyard, in their garden, could definitely grow it. And it's something that would not take a lot of time compared if you're growing carrots or onions. I mean, it's something that you would be able to manage. So we definitely, when we sat down with the chair lady of the Women's Commission, because she said, you know what, we need to empower women economically. We need to find something different for them. And we started discussing several projects, and this came up. We said, let's find some funding to do this project and to get more women involved, to empower them, And of course, with our partners in Taiwan, when we pitch it to them and we show them a pilot that we had in Corozal, that basically we convinced them to fund for the West and South.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.